This isn't new. Not for Alicia, not for Swizz, and definitely not for Lala. Because long before the baby rumors, the quiet divorce whispers, and the Instagram investigators, there were signs. Too many signs. Swizz Beatz and Lala Anthony have been moving in the same circles for decades. And for just as long, the streets have been whispering. IG comments that felt too flirty, event photos where Alicia was missing, but Lala was right there. Years of rumors brushed off as gossip. Until now. Because something's changed. Now there's talk of a baby, a secret love, a betrayal too big to ignore. And the woman who once took Swizz from another marriage is suddenly the one being left behind. It's not just messy, it's ironic. And the internet? It's not rushing to defend Alicia this time. Because this isn't just about cheating, it's about a pattern. A man who's been moving the same way for over a decade, and the women left trying to hold the image together while the truth keeps leaking through the cracks. So no, this isn't some breaking scandal. This is the boiling point of a story that's been simmering for 15 years.
Before Alicia Keys ever faced whispers of betrayal, she was at the center of one. Because when she first got with Swizz Beatz, he wasn't just some producer with a beat pack. He was married. Back in 2008, Swizz was still tied to singer Mashonda, raising their young son and very much living under the same roof. But that didn't stop him from getting close to Alicia, real close, while working on her fourth album, The Element of Freedom. That project, it ended up being the beginning of a very different kind of freedom for him. Mashonda says she felt something was off almost immediately, and 2 days after her son's birthday, she found out the truth. Swizz and Alicia weren't just collaborating in the studio, they were in love, or at least that's what they called it. Mashonda didn't just cry in silence, she took it public. She wrote a now viral open letter calling Alicia out for interfering in her marriage and refusing to even have a conversation about it. She wasn't messy, she was heartbroken, begging Alicia to simply acknowledge the pain she helped cause. But Alicia stayed silent, graceful, untouched. And by 2010, she was married to Swizz herself, already pregnant with their first child. The world saw a love story, but the internet, it saw a pattern. Because for a lot of people, Alicia didn't just fall in love, she stole someone else's husband. And whether that's true or not, it's the one detail the internet has never let her live down.
Think Swizz and Lala were always more than just friends? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe because the next part, it gets way messier. Let's be clear, Lala Anthony didn't just appear out of nowhere. She's been in this story for a very long time. Swizz and Lala, they go way back. Same high school, same industry circles, same red carpets. Their connection didn't start as some random event. It was built over years of shared space, private moments, and if the rumors are true, quiet chemistry. Even while Lala was married to Carmelo Anthony and Swizz was publicly playing the role of Alicia's devoted husband, people noticed. Photos where they stood just a little too close. Award shows where they were seen whispering to each other while their partners were nowhere in sight. And then the Instagram breadcrumbs. Swizz would leave comments under Lala's post and she'd be the first to reply. Not once, not occasionally, but consistently. Conversations in plain sight with flirty undertones fans couldn't ignore. Eventually, the story goes, Swizz told Lala to chill, allegedly told her, "You gotta stop commenting so much, it's starting to look obvious to my wife." But that didn't mean the connection ended. It just went deeper and more private. And that's the thing about long-standing rumors. They don't go away because they're false. They stick around because nobody's ever denied them loud enough to make them disappear. So while the world was focused on Alicia and Swizz's curated couple moments, Lala was still there, in the background, always orbiting. And to many fans, that wasn't a coincidence. That was a pattern. For years, Alicia Keys stayed silent. Through the flirty comments, through the lingering glances, through the headlines and whispers.
She smiled for cameras, posted inspirational quotes, and played her part. But something shifted recently, because now the whispers aren't just about DMs or lingering hugs. They're about a baby. Allegedly, Lala Anthony is pregnant, and the father, Swizz Beatz. And here's the wildest part. This isn't new. Insiders claim the affair never stopped, and the pregnancy, that's just the moment Alicia finally snapped. After years of saving face, protecting the power couple brand, and staying publicly composed, she's reportedly filed for divorce behind closed doors. No IG post, no press release, just quiet paperwork and serious legal moves. And the PR machines, they're already working overtime. Because while Swizz continues to post like nothing's wrong, his team is allegedly trying to keep Lala's name out of every headline. They know this could blow up into a scandal that damages everyone's brand, not just his. Alicia, on the other hand, seems done. After all the sacrifices she made to be with Swizz, including catching endless heat for how they got together, now she's the one being played publicly? This wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. The type you can't buy your way out of. The kind that makes people wonder, did Alicia always know this was coming? Or did Swizz finally cross the one line she couldn't forgive?
For years, Alicia Keys played it cool. No clapbacks, no public drama, no cryptic posts or emotional rants. Just that same signature calm, the kind that made fans believe nothing could shake her. But now, with divorce rumors swirling and Lala's name back in the mix, that silence is starting to look a little different. Was it really grace? Or was it strategy? Because insiders are saying Alicia wasn't in the dark. She allegedly knew about Swizz's friendship with Lala, knew about the DMs, the flirty IG behavior, the private conversations. And instead of confronting it publicly, she chose to protect the brand. Because this wasn't just a marriage, it was an empire. Alicia and Swizz became the model for the artistic power couple, investing in properties, partnering in business deals, appearing at elite galas and art auctions. Walking away would mean more than heartbreak. It would mean risk to the image, to the money, to the legacy. So she stayed. And Swizz, he knew how to keep her quiet. Not with apologies, but with extravagance. He bought her a $300,000 custom Maybach designed by Virgil Abloh. He gushed about her in interviews, saying their marriage was so solid they'd never had a single argument. To some fans, it looked like fairy tale love. But to others, it looked like love bombing, a cover-up with a bow on top. Because when a man needs to remind the world how perfect things are, it's often because he's hiding how broken they've actually become. Now that the baby rumors exploded, Alicia's silence is raising more questions than ever. Did she stay quiet to protect her peace, or to avoid facing the truth? Was she playing the long game, waiting for the final move before making her own? Either way, that silence, it's no longer being read as strength. It's being seen as the calm before a legal storm.
By the time the baby rumors hit the blogs, the internet was already 10 steps ahead. Because while Swizz and Alicia were posting love-filled tributes and luxury vacation pics, fans were watching something else. The patterns, the timelines, the silence. Reddit threads started popping up, TikTok deep dives broke down side-by-side screenshots. Old photos of Swizz and Lala standing a little too close began resurfacing. And suddenly, it all started to make sense. Why was Lala always present at events where Alicia wasn't? Why were Swizz's comments under her posts so frequent? And so familiar. Why did Lala always pop up right when Alicia disappeared from the spotlight? Even their Instagram behavior looked suspicious. Swizz would drop a fire emoji, and Lala would be the first to reply. But it wouldn't stop there. They'd go back and forth like it was a private thread in public view. Fans clocked it, screen recorded it, and saved receipts from years ago. And then there's the timeline. People realized Swizz and Lala's friendship didn't just survive Lala's messy divorce from Carmelo Anthony, it got stronger. She started showing up more events, more social media presence, more subtle signs that this wasn't just some casual industry bond. And when fans looked back far enough, they noticed something chilling. A lot of these moments, they were happening during major milestones in Alicia's life. Album releases, family celebrations, anniversaries. Swizz was playing family man in one photo and single energy in another. The receipts were never missing. They were just being ignored. Now, they've resurfaced with a vengeance, and the same internet that once cheered for Alicia is now saying, "She been new. We been new." This wasn't a scandal. This was a timeline waiting to go viral.
For a while, Lala Anthony was winning. After her rocky split from Carmelo, a breakup fueled by rumors, sad chicks, and secret babies, she pulled off one of the best rebrands in recent celebrity history. She got in the gym, she landed major acting roles, she posted her glow-ups and got showered in fire emojis and "I'm so proud of you" comments. She became a symbol of moving on, of leveling up, of healing. But now, that image is cracking, and fast. Because if the rumors are true, if she's been with Swizz Beatz for years while he was still married to Alicia Keys, and if she's pregnant with his child now, then this isn't a glow-up, it's a plot twist. And fans are split. Some are defending her, saying she deserves real love after all the pain Carmelo put her through, that maybe Swizz made her feel safe, desired, chosen. But others, they're not buying it. They're calling her out, not just for being the other woman, but for allegedly playing that role quietly for years while Alicia smiled in the public eye. Because it's one thing to have a fling, but if Swizz really told Lala he loved her, and if they stayed involved this long, that's a second relationship, not a side one. And Lala's silence right now is only adding fuel to the fire. She hasn't denied the rumors. She hasn't addressed the baby speculation. She's just quiet. And in the celebrity world, silence doesn't mean innocence. It means damage control. People are already speculating that she's being protected behind the scenes. PR teams cleaning up, brands pulling strings, insiders keeping her name off official documents. Because let's not forget, Lala has her own empire now. Skincare deals, acting contracts, business partnerships. Another scandal that could cost her everything. At this point, you'd think Swizz Beatz would switch it up. But nope, same script, same moves, different woman. Because every time Swizz gets caught up in some mess, whether it was with Mashonda, with Alicia, or now with Lala, he doesn't fall apart. He performs. And the performance always starts the same way. Deny, deflect, then distract with a grand gesture. Remember when the heat first started building about Swizz and Lala? Instead of addressing the rumors, he gifted Alicia a $300,000 custom Maybach. Not just any car, but the first one designed by the late Virgil Abloh. Luxury, symbolic, Instagram ready. And it worked. For a minute. People stopped talking about Lala and started praising the black love again. Alicia smiled, Swizz posted, the brand was safe. But behind the scenes, insiders say it was falling apart. Swizz has always had a pattern. He does what he wants, then when the truth starts creeping out, he floods the relationship with money, gifts, public praise, anything to paint over the cracks. He once said he and Alicia had never argued. Seriously, in over a decade together. Fans rolled their eyes, but the media ate it up, until now. Because no amount of luxury, no power couple PR strategy, no designer car can erase a decade-long trail of infidelity rumors. And people are noticing that Swizz doesn't just love bomb his partner, he love bombs the public too. Post the perfect picture, throw the expensive anniversary bash, drop a heartfelt caption. But behind the filters, more women, more rumors, more receipts. And Alicia, she's not clapping back. She's not posting cryptic quotes. She's not engaging in drama. She's moving in silence, the kind that feels legal, not emotional. This isn't just a messy breakup. It's a brand imploding in real time. Because Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz didn't just build a marriage,
They built an image, a legacy, an empire. They curated the perfect artsy power couple aesthetic, modern, unproblematic, elevated. Their relationship was part of their business. Together, they've invested in luxury properties. They've partnered on art exhibitions, cultural projects, brand deals, music collaborations. They were carefully packaged to look bulletproof. Now, that image is in flames. Sources close to the situation say Alicia isn't just walking away, she's lawyering up. And quietly, too. No public announcement, no press tour, just confidential meetings and sealed documents. Because untangling this mess isn't as simple as you cheated, I'm out. It means dividing assets. It means restructuring business deals. It means deciding who gets what. Not just in love, but in power. The silence between them isn't peaceful, it's strategic. Both sides are trying to protect their reputations, but only one of them is rumored to be fighting for revenge. And behind the scenes, PR teams are scrambling, media outlets are being fed alternative narratives, and whispers are swirling that more women, possibly more scandals, are still being kept under wraps. Because if Swizz really has a child on the way with someone else, and if that someone is Lala Anthony, this won't just be a marriage ending, it'll be a full-blown brand collapse. The Alicia and Swizz story always relied on one thing, the idea that no matter what people said, they were strong, solid, unbothered. But now the cracks are visible, the silence is deafening, and the perfect image shattered.
This wasn't a shock, not to the fans, not to the blogs, and maybe not even to Alicia. Because the truth is, the internet watched this happen in real time. Every flirty comment, every suspicious photo, every red carpet where Lala showed up and Alicia didn't. People sounded the alarm for years. They dropped receipts. They told the story before it ever hit the headlines. And now, they're not rushing to defend Alicia because for a lot of people, this feels like karma doing what karma does best. They remember how Swizz left his first wife. They remember how Alicia stayed silent while Mashonda cried out for answers. They remember that this whole love story started on a fault line. So now that it's cracking apart, they're not surprised. They're saying, you lose them how you got them. She knew the men she married. The signs were always there. She just chose to look away. But here's the real twist. This isn't just about betrayal. It's about legacy. Alicia built a career on empowerment, sisterhood, and peace. She stood for healing and harmony. But this scandal, it's rewriting everything. And Lala, she was the underdog, the survivor, the woman who bounced back. Now she's back in the middle of someone else's mess, and this time, she might not walk away clean. As for Swizz, he's still playing it cool, still posting, still pretending. But the mask is slipping, and fans are done pretending with him. So now the question isn't whether the rumors are true. The question is, how long has this been going on, and how many people helped him keep it quiet? This isn't just another cheating scandal. This is the collapse of a brand, the unmasking of a love story, and the beginning of a very public fallout. Because when the internet turns on you, there's no Maybach big enough to distract them. And now that the curtains are falling, the truth is center stage.